Hey Fab fam, it's Vinny B with Dead on Board Gaming, and they just released the January Armory kit, and by golly, I want to talk about it. So to start, let's start with the awesome art of Bravo as I'd assume a ringleader. He looks like a ringleader. Um, Art's fantastic. I think it's the art on a card and not a hero. Though I think it was DM Armada brought up a good point. Bravo having a separate name like Bravo the Showstopper and him being a hero in here. I've actually been thinking about that recently over the last, I don't know, it doesn't matter how long, but I found it interesting that the specializations aren't for the name of the hero, like the suffix name. You know what I mean? The following name, such as Lexi Livewire. Her specialty says Lexi Specialization, and I think that's very cool because they future proofed it for when heroes hit live in legend status. They'll be able to print another Bravo, such as Bravo Showstopper, and the Bravo specializations still work with Bravo. So I thought that was cool. Also, if they just decide to print another Bravo Eva with Bravo in, I don't know if that's the plan, but if eventually, I don't think they need to because of the way they spread out their heroes. But Magic has 107 legal planeswalkers, a bunch with the same name but have a different suffix. I think if I'm not using suffix right, I'm wrong. I'm not an English major. But you know what I mean. So I do think that's interesting. When he brought it up, it kind of sparked it back in my brain that that it all makes sense because again they already future proofed the cards to be able to include them into other Bravo cards. Next, I wanted to talk about the cards in the kit. Let's start with Life on the Party, which is fantastic. First, the art's sweet. The modal cards being party cards, just like in general, I love the theme of that. Like Coax a Commotion, now Life of the Party, all have like modes that you get to do. So I think that's awesome. And this also keeps pointing to, very much, this keeps pointing to either PvE or a competitive, or not competitive, co-op something. And man, would it be cool? Wouldn't it be cool if it wasn't just battle a bigger, badder boss with a bunch of people, and it actually had like a dungeon crawl to it or something like that, like an actual adventure? And they'd be able to come out with modules for it like once a year. Say, I'm gonna say like the Unset, but they come out every that's very unthing. But if they made it just like a random release, maybe once a year, with a new campaign for you to play through, I think that would be very cool. Again, I'm afraid PvE is gonna just turn into like a boss rush, which is like every PvE for every game when they try to do it. It even happens multiple times. So I'm hoping, personally, that it has some kind of story. With all the lore and everything, why wouldn't it be a story-driven piece? You know what I mean? It might be a little too complicated, or maybe the product line wouldn't line up right. There's a bunch of reasons why it wouldn't work, but at the same time, how cool would that be? So anyways, Life of the Party is you may discard or destroy a card you control named Crazy Brew rather than pay Life of the Party's mana cost. It costs 2, and this is a red line that we're reading. If you do, you get to choose all modes. Otherwise, choose one at random. So, I love how it calls back to the first set in the supplementary. I feel like the supplementary sets are going to be the best sets in Flesh and Blood, just period. Like going for like just period. This is like these are the sets everyone's going to really kind of wait for, and like just because it touches so many things, and like this is so cool. And then again, there's that awesome cold foil promo of Crazy Brew. This gives you another reason to want to. It gives another spotlight on this awesome cold foil promo. Now, I think LSS wants collectability more, but this also would give them a reason to reprint that again. If we're going to look at both sides of the coin, is now that Crazy Brew with the tentacles coming out, since it's a promo and can be reprinted, might make sense at some point over the next year. Throwing that out there. I hope not. Like, I feel like these early promos should just kind of be special. Sorry, I just shook my thing. I want them to be special, but again, they have the reprint policies in place for a reason. They may never use them. For the promos is what I mean, not anything else, because of the way the game releases itself. They're always going to have promos to push. So even though they say they can, I don't know if they'll ever actually use that. So the 3 modes, because I keep drifting off into space. Life of the party gains, when it hits, gain 2 life. Awesome. Life of the party gains +2 attack, so it goes from a 4 to a 6 on the red, and life of the party gains go again. So if you discard or crack a Crazy Brew, it's a 6 attack that gains 2 life and has go again for free. Well, not for free, it's for pitching. It actually costs 3. Let's be honest. If you discard a Crazy Brew, it's like it cost you 3, but you get all 3 modes. So it's worth the extra resource. But if you have one out in play and then you do this, that's better than cracking a Crazy Brew. And that's the other thing I like, because Crazy Brew is like the janky, like, all or nothing, like, I feel like gambling the day card. And now they just made it to where it has a consistency in the game itself. I think the card's fun, but I could also see this card getting some kind of abuse. Not abuse. I don't want to say abuse because I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it'll be awesome if this shows up in a deck that's actually doing well. I think it'd be fantastic. And it's a generic, so it fits everywhere. So does Crazy Brew. I am in on Life of the Party. All right, now let's talk about Valda Bright Axe, our new Guardian. It's a young Guardian, so this more than likely means that the heroes inside of Crucible are going to be young again. Now it makes me wonder a few things. Now, first, are we going to get a new set of young heroes and then the adult heroes from the old one? Because I don't think that's out of question that we get, 4 old and then 4 new heroes that'll grow up next set. That could not be it. This set could be its Blitz pump, but I think it's cool that we're going to get new heroes for some format, even if it's just for PvE. Maybe PvE operates on a young hero, you know what I mean? 20 life, and you kind of get at it. Especially if it's co-op with a bunch of people, which I'm assuming PvE is going to be because of the way the cards are. I don't know why I keep alluding to it's going to be like single player. It's not going to be. So anyways, Valda, whenever an opponent draws a card during their action phase, create a Seismic Surge token for each card drawn this way. So Rangers playing 3 of a kind, you get 3 Seismic Surge tokens, plus you probably made one last time. That's 4 Seismic Surge tokens. That's actually like an 8 attack through Guardian. That's awesome. That's awesome, and that's pretty damn strong. Then it says, at the start of your turn, if you control 3 or more Seismic Surge tokens, cards you own with Crush gain Dominate this turn. Free Dominate if you play somebody that's abusing card draw, which, again, excuse me, anyone playing Plunder Run, you're going to get a free Seismic Surge token if you end up having to take damage. there's so many cards that draw cards. Like, and almost every deck plays a way to draw extra cards through their turn to extend their turn some way or another. Again, Ranger, you're going to draw 3. Off of that, you'll get 3 that automatically gives you Dominate for whatever you're dominating on. Also think it's awesome that this card goes back to Crush for Guardian. And it's pure Guardian support, right? Like, this is another hero that gets to use... Or, never mind. This is another non-talented hero, which I think is interesting. That's where I was kind of going. It's a non-talented hero, which I thought, again, find interesting. Sorry, I kind of seen this last night, woke up, and now I'm just kind of stumbling through this video. But I think I'm making okay points. You guys let me know. You guys let me know if I'm just absolute nonsense. Maybe I'll wait a little later in the morning before I make another video. Next time. Anyways, I think this is awesome. She also has 21 health, so she has a buff in the other direction than we normally see. I'm still waiting for the 5 intellect hero, and I hope it's a mage. It's probably too strong. It's definitely too strong, right? Like, you can't give a wizard, especially when they can use all the old wizard cards. You can't give a wizard 5 cards, right? At least not attached to something that not attached to the hero itself. I could see it being like an offhand tome. Might be cool. There'd have to be some kind of, maybe you have to deal arcane damage if you do. Yeah, there you go. Offhand tome. If you've dealt 2 or more arcane damage this turn, your intellect goes up to 5. I don't know. There you go, LSS. There's an idea at least. Anyways, guys, that's really just all I wanted to talk about. I'm so excited for Everfest, and again, I think these are going to be, just in general, I think as Flesh and Blood progresses, I think these supplementary sets are really going to be the excitement. Like, getting new heroes is awesome and exciting, but seeing the cards that flesh them out at the end of the block, I'm going to call the Euro block, but at the end of the block, you get to see all the heroes kind of get fleshed out for constructed. Especially, and it says it on the box. It's to, balance out constructed play, because they spend a lot of time making the other sets draftable. And that's something else we have to think about when we're putting up our pitchforks and everything like that, is that they have a design philosophy that I don't think we're giving them credit for, or at least I'm giving them extra credit because I think this is a good philosophy. And maybe it's not a philosophy at all, but they put a lot of effort into the draft here, and then at the end of the year, they're like, here's the rest of the tools you guys need for your constructed decks. Yes, it might seem a little unbalanced throughout the year as we release new heroes, but you're also learning new heroes, and I've already harped on that a million times. But we're going to have a set at the end of every block that is going to touch every hero we have in one way or another to balance or improve the field. So again, I think it's very cool. It gives you hope later down the road. I get frustrations. I get if you love a hero and it's not viable at the moment. Like, I get the feel bads, but like, sets like this are going to shake up everything. And again, evolving metas will happen. And I'm hoping next year they have a good spacing for all their events, and we can kind of watch the meta actually shift and churn, because a month and a half isn't a lot of time to shift and churn. We'll even call it 2 months. Just 2 straight months of a bunch of events, and then it just falls off. You don't get to see the innovations in the format. They can show you the data because they collect it all, but you don't get to watch it unfold. So it'd be awesome to have like an event every, 2 weeks. A bigger event with some kind of coverage would be amazing. Anyways, I'm going to end it on that. You guys, I thank you. As always, thank you for being the best community in gaming, and I will catch you guys later.